Our pain feels very real, our grief feels very real, our emotions feel very real. But ultimately, a body decomposes when somebody dies. Either they're cremated or they're buried. The body decomposes, merges back in the ground, and some microbes, if there is anything left, will eat it, or the person will become fertilizer and then be part of that earth back again. And it may rain, some drop may absorb an essence of it, and it may rain back. This integration, disintegration, constant movement. Tell me who's dying and who's living. His question is as follows, that in that book, there's a letter that I wrote to Sadhviji where I've explained the intricacies of karma. That how when we say, oh, can you just do this simple thing for me? It's never as simple as doing that. There are a million things in the universe that have to align for something to happen. But in the end, I said that it's all one big illusion. Nobody is dying and nobody is taking birth, and nothing really is happening in the world. Now, and his question is, how do we reconcile the two? And that he finds it intriguing if I have anything to say on this matter. I don't, but still I will try. Everybody is at a different stage in the evolution of consciousness. All the grief that we experience in our lives, have you realized that once we are past that grief, for the most part it appears so silly. Look at the disagreements people have with each other, and because of which they've experienced this pain, and every problem appears very big. But if it was actually big, why would it cease to appear big after a while? Clearly, something has changed in the manner in which it was perceived earlier versus it is perceived now. So when I say everything is one big illusion, predominantly what I'm trying to say here is that we are so attached to our way of life, way of living, way of doing things, the infinite desire to have more power and more control, that everything appears more real than it actually is. There was this very famous author called Franz Kafka, and he had no children of his own. One day he was sitting in a park and there was a little girl who was crying. And it's apparently a real story. So he went to that girl and said, why are you crying, little one? She said, I've lost my doll. And I used to play with this doll. I can't find that doll. He said, oh, off the top of his head, this answer came to him. Your doll has gone on a world travel. And she misses you every day. And she told me she's promised that she will write to you very soon. She said, oh, really? He said, yes. That's why I'm in the park. I came to give you this message. And for the rest of his life, for the next many years, he kept on writing letters as if they were a letter from the doll, and would hand it to the girl who was, as time progressed, growing up. And the doll would talk about adventure here and adventure there. I went to Paris, and I went to Denmark, and I went to Oslo, and I went to the US, and blah, blah, blah. And she would recount all her adventures and so on. Then one day, he actually handed her the doll. He said, your doll has come back, and now she wants to be with you. And the girl looked at the doll and said, "But that's not my doll. My doll looked much different." Clearly, Kafka himself had never seen that doll, but he just got it. And Franz Kafka said to her, "Well, your doll has changed now. After all this travel in the world, she has grown. She's a different person now, but she still loves you." And a month later, he passed away. Franz Kafka died a month later. That girl found out that the man's no more. Some more time passed. And one day, just coincidentally, she realized that there was a little zip at the back of the doll, and perhaps something was in it. She opened, and sure enough, there was a little slip, a piece of paper. She took it out. On it, it was written, "Everything you love probably will be lost one day. And yet, in the end, love will come back to you in another way. Love will return to you in another way." So when I say it's an illusion, the reality of our existence appears so real to us, but it is no more than an absolute emotion of love. No matter what each individual is doing, ultimately they are seeking love. Ma Parvati once asked Lord Shiva, "Why do you apply the ashes from the cremation ground? I can make you vibhuti from your fire pit. But why do you apply it from a burnt corpse?" And Shiva said, "Varanane, have you not noticed that when they take the dead body to the cremation ground, they are constantly saying, 'Ramanam Satya hai, Ramanam Satya hai.' They are chanting the name of my Vishnu, of my Rama. So that the ash from that body is for me a form of Vishnu," Lord Shiva says. And that's why I experience, he said, that oneness, that union, that divinity, that extreme love for Vishnu, from Vishnu, towards Vishnu, when I smear myself with that ash. And that's why I do it. So ultimately, each individual is seeking only love. More power also means more love, or the illusion of love. Oh, look how many people love me, want me. Those who have 50 million followers want 100 million followers. When people say, "Do you love me?" they're asking, "Do you need me?" Is there anything in your life which is incomplete without me? So love finds a way to plug itself in. But until that realization dawns, it all feels very real, when in essence, that's not the reality that we are perceiving. It's very different. Our pain feels very real, our grief feels very real, our emotions feel very real. But ultimately, a body decomposes. When somebody dies, either they're cremated or they're buried, the body decomposes, merges back in the ground, and some microbes, if there is anything left, will eat it, or the person will become fertilizer and then be part of that earth back again. And it may rain, some drop may absorb an essence of it, and it may rain back. This integration, disintegration, constant movement. Tell me who's dying and who's living. And that's what Krishna also said, right? Kam ghateti hantika. Who's killing and who's dying? What are you talking about, Kante? Avyakta adhini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata. Avyakta nidhananyaya tatra ka paridevana. Who are you talking about? Where were they? These people you are referring to, where were they earlier? Before you were born or before they were born? Where will they be after you are gone or after they are dead? They've just appeared like a bubble on water for a fraction of a second, for a brief moment of time, for a brief period. They are everything that we feel is just about as real as bubble on the surface of water. It's there, but what is it made of? If it ceases to exist, does anything change in water itself? Probably not. So everything that we are attached to deeply, it's worth reflecting on it and understanding that eventually none of this matters. And that's what I mean when I say it's all one big illusion. We give it way more importance than it requires.